Blessings, Christ Alive family. I just want to speak to you for a minute. As you know, we are getting ready to have our in person services. We are going to go back to in person services beginning Sunday, October the 4th. And so I just want to go over some of the guidelines that we have in place just to give you an idea of some of the things that we're doing to prepare ourselves for wonderful times together in the presence of the Lord. First of all, the guidelines that I hold in my hand will be found on our website. So you can go to our website and you can download it, you can review it. It is important that you do because it will allow you to be properly prepared for the services once we go back to in person services. Before we go into some of the things on the guideline, let me just say again that no one is under compulsion to return. Okay? You need to follow your own heart on this. One thing I do ask those of you that have made a decision one way or the other, please don't try to influence people to go your way. Okay? If you hear somebody say they're coming back, God bless them. If you hear somebody say they're not coming back right away, God bless them. Let each man follow their own hearts. First of all, our services are going to be family services only. That means that there'll be no children's ministry, no nursery, no kids' church, no preteen sessions. Everyone will be in the sanctuary together. We have a limit. We have a 33% capacity. And so the building will be laid out with seats unavailable for everyone. And we're going to ask you to follow the directions of the ushers as it relates to seating. We are going to be practicing, social, or what I prefer to call physical distancing, which simply means that, we're asking people to respect that. Where possible, no handshakes, no high fives, and so forth and so on, all to make sure that we're honoring the proper protocols that have been set in place. Everyone coming in will have their temperature taken before they enter the building. So this way, no one will come in who has a temperature and so forth. As you well know, there are certain respiratory symptoms that they have described, and so we're asking that if you have any of those kind of symptoms as described by the CDC, that you do not come to services while those symptoms are present. Okay? Again, also masks will be required. Please know this, that this is not a suggestion. Masks will be required, and the mask must be worn at all times while in the building over the nose and the mouth. Okay? Children under 2 will not need a mask because the CDC suggests that they don't wear masks. Okay? Hand sanitizers will be available throughout the buildings. There'll be masks available upon request for anyone who may have forgotten their mask. Okay? We're going to do everything we can to minimize touch points. And so if you see a door propped open, don't close it because that's also a means by which we are going to minimize touch points. A very important thing is this, that when you get to the sanctuary, the ushers will be directing you to your seat based upon family units. They will ask you how many are in your family units. Let me define family units in this context. A family unit is anyone who is living together in the same household or anyone who arrived together in the same vehicle. In other words, you might be of the same family, but you are not living in the same household. That means you cannot sit together. Okay? My wife and my children and I can sit together. My brother and his family are not living in my house, so we cannot sit together. Okay? As much as you might hang out together and so forth and so on and visit each other's homes, when it comes to the church and the public in-person services, you will not be sitting together because you're not considered a family unit for that purpose. Okay? See, if someone drives and arrives with you in the same vehicle, yes, you can sit together. The seats will be clearly marked as to what seats are not available, and we ask you to respect that. Once you are seated, you will be required to stay in your seat. Please understand that you will not be allowed just to get up and run in and out of the sanctuary as under normal conditions. You are going to be asked to stay in your seats. Those of you that will have to leave early, we do ask you simply to let the ushers know, and they'll seat you accordingly so that you'll be in the back and you can step out as easily as you need to. Now, if for health reasons you need to make multiple trips to the restroom during the service, which will be approximately an hour and a half in length, we ask you to discreetly inform one of the ushers so that you can be seated appropriately. It is not something that you should announce to all the ushers. Just discreetly let one usher know, and they will handle it properly as instructed. Okay? Restrooms will be limited in capacity. You will see that. So we ask you to respect that. There'll be no gathering in the lobby, okay, in front or back, please. And even when you're in the parking lots on church compound, we do ask you to respect the social personal distancing requirements. The New York State's government has declared some states to be challenging states. As a result, if you visit any of those states, when you come back, you're required to quarantine for 14 days. That list is available online. You'll find the link on the guidelines. Please use that link to go online and see those list of states to make sure that you are following the guidelines. Please, 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 if you have visited any of those states, please do your 14-day quarantine before you come to services here at Christ Alive. If you're living with a family member or anyone who's on the quarantine, we also ask that you stay home and watch online. If for some reason you had symptoms and you got tested and you have not yet received the results, we also ask you to stay home and watch online until you have received the results that allows you to return out in public. Also, going back to mask, if your health reasons do not permit you to wear a mask, we highly encourage you to also view from home, okay? Because unfortunately, individuals who are here wearing masks might very well be uncomfortable. We understand, and it's unfortunate, but we encourage you to do so. Those of you that are in the category where they say you are at higher risk, our encouragement, okay, is that you also view from home. We are looking forward to the speedy end of this pandemic, where we are going to be able to gather together without boundaries, without limits. Put your faith out with me, believe God with me for a speedy end to it, because we want us to all be able to come together again and be able to worship the Lord. Finally, let me say this, that we have not yet determined how we are going to do certain things. We might have an online registration system for people to register for what services they'll be attending. We are yet to decide on that. I'm giving it thought, and I'll be speaking with the pastors this week to make some determination on that. Also, we are going to be keeping records of those who attend the services. It is something that is encouraged that we keep a record of those who attend the services. Those records will be kept for about 3 weeks. Okay, in other words, you come to a service on the Sunday, or I say on the 4th, we will know who attended, and where our goal is also know where you sit in the sanctuary, and then that record will be kept for 3 weeks, and once it's not needed, it will be disposed of. All right, but we're looking forward to having every one of you back in some way in one of the services, either 8:30 or 10:30. And let me say this, if we fill to capacity as it relates to what we're allowed for 8 o'clock, not 8:30, 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. and 10:30, we are going to look into adding a third session. So we're going to do everything we can to make sure that everyone will be able to be in service. God bless you. Looking forward to seeing you beginning October the 4th.